If you were anything like me, or just getting warmed up when it comes to Christmas music, you got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, and world that we live in. Appreciate you hanging out with me on a Monday, and a super happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you got a lot of cool things done. Hope you got time to spend outdoors because the weather was BEA beautiful. It's fantastic. It's going to be that way pretty much from here on out. There'll be some rainy days, but that's fine. I got to tell you, I've had so much fun just being outside. Could be just sitting in the back. I don't care. Just had so much fun. Went on a monster hike, and we can talk about that some other time. I went on a monster hike. It's no bueno. Nope. I literally feel like my left foot is destroyed. It feels like it's broken at this point, but it's okay. I was out enjoying the cool evening air, and it was a very, very long hike. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about something that is, we're going to Christmas gifts, all that stuff. We can get that stuff later. Although I did get an email from the one hat that my son wanted, I bought, and just got an email saying, "Oh, sorry, we ran out before we could get to your order." I'm like, "Well, you charged me. I want my damn hat." Anyway, it was let's see here. What's it doing here? Yes, it was Over the Hunt. And I was, the first day, I was just packing some serious weight. And I was like, I don't understand why I'm packing this much weight. What do I really need in this bag? And in understanding that it was mostly because I was out of shape and I wasn't feeling too great. But partially, it was kind of a come to Jesus backpack meeting. Like, so let's sit down and really go through this. What do we need and what do we not need? And I just kind of thought that was interesting and something for us to talk about on the show. But then I came across an amazing story. And I mean, a really cool story. This story might be on Rhonda's Random Thoughts soon enough. She came in just in time, Rhonda. I mean, this is a story for you, sister. If you want to jump in on this is one of the coolest stories I've heard in a hot minute. It has everything to do with outdoor survival. And it is absolutely fantastic. All right, let's get to it. This is wild to me. This is a story of a Chinese sailor that survived 133 days lost at sea, almost a half a year lost at sea. And how this guy survived was wildly impressive. But it just goes to show, what do you really need and what do you not need when it comes to survival gear, when it comes to being prepared for all situations when you're out there. And what's up, Griselda? How you doing? So this story, check this out. And it starts as most lost at sea stories, war, and boat got blowed up. And the dude was he was hanging out for about let's see here, probably about a day, and then he actually found a life raft, a wooden life raft that's 8 feet long, 8 feet from what I understand. That's nothing, absolutely nothing at all. But it was an 8-footer, and basically an 8x8, and is a wooden frame. You could put it together, and it had a little, little sun thing on there. And this is Poon Lim is his name. He basically found the thing, and he's like, okay, I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to see what happens. See what happens? No? Intended pun. So I'm going to see what happens. Well, I'm getting a little hungry. I don't have a lot to eat. So let me get to what is actually on this raft. Ready? There was a flare gun, 2 cooking pots, a flashlight broken, a few chocolate bars, some sugar cubes, and an 11-gallon water jug. This is all this dude had. That's all I had. So he's looking around going, okay, I can ration some chocolate. I guess the sugar cube is going to do something for me. Calories, I don't know. Definitely not sustenance. But we're gonna figure this whole thing out. I got a flashlight that's broken, and I got 11 gallons of drinking water. So right away, what are the things that we need right away? We need fire, we need shelter, we need water. Water, fire, and shelter is what we need right out of the gates. So he's surrounded by water, not drinkable, but he had 11 gallons of water. So start thinking about that. I need about a half gallon to a gallon of water a day. I'm out here in the middle of the sun. So, I mean, the sun's beating down on me. So probably need closer to a gallon a day. So I've got about 15, 16 days. I can make this water last. God willing, there's going to be some rain and I can collect the rainwater. So now I got to eat because I have shelter. I've got this little janky tent over me or this, whatever, just a covering to basically give me some shade. And now I got to figure out how to do this. He came from a fishing family. And so he started to pull nails out of the wood that made this life raft. So he pulled nails out, he turned them into a hook, and then he took copper wire that was holding something together. And he used apparently there were not listed on his list, there were some breakfast, like protein biscuits or whatever, just something. He'd put those on the nail and he'd start fishing. Dude started catching fish. So regularly that he started using the fish the fish insides, the wasted part of the fish as bait. And dude started catching sharks. Like he done come up like 7-Up. Like he was eating fine. He was eating good in the hood. And like Queen Bee asked me, she said when I was telling her about this story, because I thought it was absolutely fantastic. See, this is Tequila Jim wanting to jump in. It's all about the size that Rose wouldn't let Jack on. You're right. There's actually an inflatable raft that is that same size. You can buy it at the Target or whatever. There's an inflatable raft, so you can see how many of your friends you can actually get on that thing and survive. But Rose, being the insufferable what that she was, she just let him die. Yes, Rhonda, you definitely have to look into the story. Okay, so do start catching fish. He was catching so many fish. He started drying the fish out so he could use it later. So basically preserve it. He was storing food. This guy was crushing it, and he was doing the rainwater, and he was fine. Obviously, he didn't have any heat. Something dumb enough for me to do, I would probably try to start a fire on a wooden raft. I would figure out a way to do that. He didn't have any utensils. He did have the can that had the chocolate bars in it, in the biscuits. It apparently was like an ammo can, a metal ammo can. And so he started to work the side of the lid, started working it until the thing snapped off. And then he had a pretty good sized blade. So he could actually fillet his fish as he was as he was doing his thing. I mean, dude, 133 days. You have a suitcase life raft. The size, hold on, here we go. All right, Jimmy says, I have a suitcase life raft. That size for aircraft and small boats. Oh, okay, cool. So, I mean, what does it do? A suitcase? What do you do? A suitcase? It's inflatable, obviously. But apparently that technology wasn't there on these boats. They actually had wooden life rafts, and the dude the guy made himself as comfortable as you could possibly be. I mean, the dude is just absolutely cooked by the sun, but he's fed and he has water, and he's got a little stupid thing to keep rain and some sun off of his head. So I think that's it's pretty fantastic. But it goes to the notion. I remember the movie The Edge. You're welcome, Elle Macpherson. The Edge, where Anthony Hopkins says, you know what most people die of in survival situation? They die of shame. Like, how did I get here? There's no way I can do this. I shouldn't have been here. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. Instead of put one foot in front of the other and survive. That's it. Just putting one foot in front of the other is just, Gilligan's Island at Sea edition. It's a really good point there. The Gilligan's Island part, this is why Queen Bee's watching Lost. And I've never seen Lost all the way through. And I stopped watching Lost. And apparently they're going to show me, according to Queen Bee's daughter, apparently they're going to show me why these things were available whenever the hell they needed them. It was getting a very giving a very Gilligan's Island vibe, because I'm like, where the hell did they find that? Where the hell did they find that to do that, like bottle rockets and stuff like that? Because people bring bottle rockets on an airplane. So I'm like, come on. This is kind of Gilligan's Island. Like we turn coconuts into ham radios and things like that. Just, so there. But yeah, so it was giving a very Gilligan's Island vibe. But this guy alone, solamente, out there doing his thing. And nothing more impressive than this. So here's how Lost jumped the shark. I would assume so. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't sharks on the island. They find a pond and there's a great white in there. I would not be surprised at all. I'm like, okay, this is just getting loony. And Queen Bee's addicted to it. Queen Bee loves her some Lost, and she's watching that stuff all the time. So if I have something to do, I'm like, hey, do you want to put an episode of Lost on? Yes. Okay, good. I'm not paying attention. Dude got shot in the chest. He's alive. He's good. Like, what in the world? Anyway, so but this guy basically just made the decision. I'm going to survive. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to survive. There's no way I'm not going to survive. I'm not going to give up, like in that stupid movie Open Water, where the couple was left behind on the dive boat, and they're just sitting there holding on to each other for an entire movie. Yeah, spoiler alert, because I don't want you to see it. You don't need to see it. Spoiler alert. The end, she just takes her BC off and just slides into the water. Eat me, sharks. Okay, good. Don't want her breeding anyway. Speaking of which, I was watching that movie on an airplane on my laptop years and years and years ago. Watching on my laptop. Little old lady sitting next to me. And little old lady looks over. The second she looks over to my screen is when they had the full frontal nudity scene in that. I'm like, I swear, lady, I'm not watching. Never mind. Is what it is. She was a like, just, oh my God. Yeah. I'm like, okay, honey, if that offends you, I'm the least of your worries. I'll tell you that much. Holy cow. All right, let's get into this guy, because this guy just absolutely tore it up. So let's go back to this. All right, let's see. So the problems that he had, used fish remains as bait. We covered that. Dried meat for some of the storage. What he had a problem with, he kept storms would wash the supplies overboard. Wind blew off his dried fish, and waves almost capsized him. But the dude just freaking made it happen. Yeah. So he made jerky. He was actually making fish jerky. If you haven't had, I've had yellowfin jerky. Damn. If you like fish, wow, that's really, really good stuff. Yes. It says, I'm actually kind of bringing the story. So here's what happened. 3 times in this thing. Remember, this guy just said, I'm going to survive. 3 times a freighter saw him but sailed right past, because in that time, U-boats used fake survivors as bait. Like, oh, let's get these guys to stop, and then we're going to jack them. So U-boats just keep going. U.S. Navy planes dropped a buoy, but it was lost in a storm, and a German U-boat crew watched him just drift right by. Yeah. 3 times he was saved. 3 times the dude was saved. He lost 20 pounds, obviously suffering from severe dehydration. He said he was seasick most of the time, so that's fun. Horrible sunburns, and then that's the way it goes. And then he noticed, apparently, 120 something days later, that the water turned green under him. So that was his like, okay, I know I'm close to land. I'm getting shallower water. The water's getting more shallow by the day. And then a Brazilian fisherman, found the guy, and he was 9 miles from shore. And he spent a month in the hospital, an entire month in the hospital. Here's where the story gets cool, because you think, okay, this is a really cool story about a guy surviving and just doing what he can, turning nails into hooks. He had some copper wire, made his own knives. Dude made it happen. Okay. His survival techniques were so remarkable. The British Navy rewrote their naval manuals. The survival section, obviously, in the naval manuals. So this guy wanted, basically they said, dude, keys to the castle. What do you want? Seriously, dude, what do you need? Because if you say you need it, we got it for you. You are somebody we want. He goes, I want to be a United States citizen. Yeah. Problem is, back when Congress actually cared about numbers and rules and law and constitution and laws, things like that, there was a limit on Chinese immigration in the United States. At that time, the quota was completely full. So Senator Warren Magnuson said, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through an entire vote through the Senate and send it to the House for their vote to increase our quota of Chinese migrants by 1. Boom, he did. So this is obviously a really, really cool story. Became a United States citizen. And I'm not kidding. This guy, he lived his life in Jersey, I believe, or Philly. He lived his life in Jersey, and he died at like 70-something years old. He did quietly. Nobody knew who the hell he was. Nobody knew what he did. I mean, he was given a ton of accommodations. Let me see what else we got here. Let's see if we can up top here. The king awarded him the British Empire Medal. The Royal Navy rewrote their manual, and Congress made that special exemption. So a lot of cool stuff. Now, but he just died. Do you think about this? If he were to have done that today, if he were to have done that, dude had a job, dude had a family, and just lived a normal life in the United States. Had he done that today, he'd be a bazillionaire. He'd have a movie about him. He'd have book deals. He would have a speaking gig. He would be making hundreds of thousands of dollars for sure. Yeah. I've been nothing but impressed by reading the story. So Rhonda, look into that. Because it is really, really cool. And I think that it fits right into the genre of your very awesome YouTube page. Right. So again, let me get the story. I'm sorry, let me get the guy's name just so you can have it. And it probably was something that I see, there we go. Lim, Lim is his last name. So Lim. So we got to, yeah, figure it out. You get it. If I find it on here, I will shoot it over to you. So there you go. I'll enjoy that. No, it definitely was not a recent. It was World War II, so it was not a recent incident by any stretch, Jim. No, nope. But I want to check out that suitcase raft. That thing seems really damn cool. Yeah, seems really cool. They're making a lot of stuff out of the same thing that we have on the paddle boards. Because you think about it, you're blowing up a paddleboard, and my 200-pound booty is standing on this thing, and it's rigid as hell. So I've seen them; they're actually making tents out of it, like the big canvas tents, just inflatable, just pop, 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 pop. Now you've got a nice rigid house for camping. I think that's a fantastic idea, and camper shells for trucks. Yeah. I will, Rhonda. I will get that. I will definitely get that to you. But this is what I'm saying. I will overpack for anything. I overpack for damn near anything. It has been very rare in my life and any of my travels or hunting adventures, fishing trips, whatever it is, that I have underpacked for. That I'm like, oh, crap, I need this. Because trust me, I have this, and maybe 3 or 4 of them. I overpack for everything, as evidenced by my hunting pack. I had all of this hunting gear. I had all of this hunting, all this survival gear. And I'm like, dude, all I need is a headlamp, a lamp or flashlight, space blanket, first aid kit, and a first aid kit with a tourniquet. You're out there with dudes with rifles and might have had a beer at lunch or 3. Have that stuff in there, and then have your field dressing stuff and your game bags. What else do you need? Toilet paper, obviously. I'm talking about like heavy stuff. Well, you need any of that crap. You have it all right there. Yeah. I have on really nice rugged stuff. Better than the old PVC. Okay, something like that? Yeah. Hypalon? Okay. Yeah. We'll look that up too. But yes. So but why did I need all that stuff? Because when are we in that situation? I'm literally my hunting pack has enough to keep us probably in a survival situation for 4 or 5 days. Easy. When am I going to be in that situation? And I'm being sincere when I ask this. I mean, I think that the most time, and Tequila Jim can probably back me up on this. At most, we were a couple of miles from the truck, and I have every app in the world that shows me where the truck is. Or I can just go, we came from that way. I'm going to walk that way. And we're going to get there. So I'm not going to need to be in a survival. If I go out in a survival situation, oh, damn, hold on. Some coffee. Okay. A survival situation, even if we go deep sea fishing. Let's say we're out there and the boat breaks down. Okay. Coast Guard is going to be here in about 20 minutes. If it's 20 days, guess what we have? A ton of fishing equipment and a bunch of people who like to cook. Yeah, I think we're good there as well. I just don't see it anymore. I just don't know if these types of survival skills are quite needed unless you are in war. And you can get in that kind of stuff. I just don't think so. My pack is probably 6 pounds, 7 pounds lighter. And that's huge because now I can, if I didn't mind the weight, which I didn't, if I didn't mind the weight, I would probably just fill that with water. This is water you need. Yeah, I just don't see it. And looking back in this story from World War II, I'm like, hey, might have been World War I. Hell if I know. A lot of black and white pictures. So that's how it just goes. And I wasn't looking at dates. I'm going to guess 2. I wouldn't say that. Anyway, so that's it. Just really, what do you need? When you're making a list, I make a bunch of lists for stuff that I like. If I'm packing, I make a lot of lists. Hunting, fishing, everything. I make a lot of lists. There needs to be a question when you put that in there, put that on the list. Do I really need that? Do I need matches and a fire starter? I don't know so much about even that. Okay, Tequila Gem. Because it was funny because somebody on our trip, I'm going to throw someone on the bus is smoking, said, oh, crap, I don't know. It's like fumbling around for matches. I'm like, dude, I have 6 Bic lighters in my bag. Like I have a lighter, just a lighter. There you go. I don't need to be out there with a bow drill. I don't need to be out there just, all this kind of stuff. I just go light that right there. Not like I knew how to light. Nope, not like that. Like this. Yeah. Just everything's fine. I do have matches too. The thing of waterproof matches, like 6 waterproof matches in there. And they're like, okay, from then on out, if you can't keep a fire, that's how God wants you to die. That's it. I get through the entire list. And if I think, okay, if this doesn't keep me alive, quite literally, that's how God wanted me to go. I mean, sometimes my F-150, sometimes it turns, sometimes it doesn't want to turn. So if going, yeah, off I-17 in that big bend, that's how God wanted me to go. Gonna have to deal with it. I told my kids, the minute you got to wipe your dad's booty, set me out to just take me to the woods, give me some ammo and a rifle, and give me a pack, and just set me out to my own devices. How long I last is how long I last. Yes. Yeah, you should live by lists. Lists are good to do. They're always good to have. I always make a list first and check that bad boy off. Makes me feel good. Yeah. That's why I think that was, I forget, it was some admiral or somebody talking about some graduation. Said, always make your bed. If you make your bed, you've accomplished something in the day. You've accomplished something in the day. And now I make my bed. I never made my bed. Now I make my bed. This is the dumbest thing in the world, making your bed. It just is. It's dumb. Unless you're going to have somebody come in there. That's like the jumping jack. I just have stuff strewn everywhere. If it's just me in there, it's just, I don't care where stuff is. I'm going to find it. And I mean, like dirty clothes, whatever. Everything's just hanging off everything because I'm not going to have anybody in there. So why do I clean it up? Why would I make my bed when I'm just going to get in it and I'm just going to just mess it up again? That's my thinking. Like Santa Claus of survival. What does that even mean? Baking for Christmas. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Like Santa Claus of survival packing. What does that mean? Did I bring milk and cookies? Don't be cryptic. And then Grizz, you just put Navy SEAL. What does that mean? You guys, help me out in the comments here. Navy SEAL. Cool. But Navy SEALs, they got a lot of crap to pack because they're a lot cooler than I am, and they're doing a lot of better crap than I'm doing. I can just go back to the truck. Oh, checking it, making a list, checking it twice. Now I get what you're saying. Thank you, Jim. But thank you both, Jims. Appreciate both of you. Good job. Okay. Tequila Jim, thank you very much. Jim, thank you for backing him up. Got it. Now making a list, checking it twice. I have that dumb fireplace thing going. The one on Netflix. I think it's great ambience. I just love having it on. And then when it ends in an hour, it starts giving you those like previews for others garbage that's on Netflix. I'm like, why do I even have this? They have made so many Hallmark Channel-esque Christmas movies that they're trying to like force down our throats. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's who make your bed. Okay, so he's a Navy SEAL. Got it. I knew it was a naval type of dude. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Grizz. But yeah, there's just so many terrible movies. And Die Hard and Die Hard 2, by the way, both Christmas movies. Jurassic World is a Christmas movie. Literally, the movie starts with a Christmas song. Christmas movie. That's how we do it around here. Yeah. I have a fireplace. I know that loops. I should definitely. I don't know how. I'm pretty sure I can loop it somehow. But it's like the crackle and the niceness. It's just such a good ambience. Turn the heater on a little bit, kind of fool yourself. So much easier than cleaning that damn thing up too. I'll tell you that much. And Tequila Jim, I need to get my solo stove back from me. Don't get too excited about it, there, boy. Yeah, don't get too excited. I'm coming to grab that thing. Trading Places, Better Off Dead Christmas movies, 100%. Lethal Weapon, 100%. Ooh, that beginning scene. Well, she jumped to her death, but still, Amanda Hunsaker. Ooh, look at that. Check out my broken skull. Yes. Hunsaker case. Damn right. Yeah, Lethal Weapon's fantastic. I'll send you a file. All right, Jim, I'll do it for sure. And Jim, I'm just going to I'm just going to email you, buddy. Yes, Rhonda, I email. I tell you what. All right, I'm going to send you all the information that you need and get everybody all the information. Everybody's information everybody needs. It's very Monday. Feeling very Monday. Yeah. It's probably because of that mad hike I went on. I could barely walk, y'all. Can barely walk. I told Queen Bee, I'm like, bring the mini. Dude, I don't know if I climb it up into my truck. I'm like, my legs won't move. My legs are toast. Yeah. So I haven't felt this in a long time. A hot minute. Probably since the first time I did the Verado stairs. Have you guys ever done the Verado stairs? Great outdoor activity, fantastic exercise, but you will hate yourself in the morning. In day 3, you might want to jump off the Verado stairs. It's funny because Queen Bee took me up the Verado stairs. This is months ago. This is last year sometime. And I'm like, I get to the top of the Verado stairs, like 300 steps. It's just straight up. But by the way, every time you go, it's packed. People love doing that stuff. Got to the top, and I'm like, there's a bar right there. There's a bar. We're getting down this thing. And if you want me to go up again, I'll go up one more time. But there's a bar right there. Nothing wrong with getting done with stairs, having some IPA and some nachos. Just saying. You got to earn them. All right, kids. Thanks for hanging out. I'll get you the information. What an amazing story. And really with technology today, and really, they'll find you. You'll find your way home. I don't know if all of this survival stuff really is needed. So save your money for some really cool stuff, like new firearms and new fishing equipment. And that's it. Then we'll all be just better off that way. See, you're welcome. All right. Thanks for hanging out. This is the Ghost Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of the state, nation, world that we live in. If you guys could, while you're here, go click like real quick and just keep on sharing it out. Appreciate you guys. Have a